This is a demonstration of the integration between Upchain PLM, or Product Lifecycle Management, and Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, or more commonly referred to as D365. What we'll be highlighting is the automation of the release of an assembly to D365, which is triggered by a change notification workflow with an Upchain PLM. So what we'll do is we'll jump right into one of these projects here, Tools 2 project. On the left-hand side, I'm presented with different options for the project. These three boxes here represent the bill of materials view. I select on this scissors assembly, and you'll see the assembly and its associated components, its parts, that have been released in the system. And all of its metadata for not only the parts but the top level assembly are listed here on the right hand side, as well as a viewable image. At this point, I want to select the three dots or the ellipses next to the top level or the end item, and select Change Notice. On the Change Notice screen, I will select the parts that are affected, and this can be a combination of update to existing parts that already exist in D365, or the creation of new parts within D365. I'll select the workflow, and then as also the mechanical designer for this particular project, I will complete the change notification. And it's now complete. We'll take a closer look at the change notification, and you'll see that it's approved. Complete the CN, and while it's processing, let's take a quick look at the workflow itself. The workflow is comprised of the following steps: the start update task and the system step. The system step is what is configured to communicate with Dynamics 365. There's a step in here, the system step, that will send the work order to ERP. So in using this workflow configured within Upchain, it will now trigger the event to update, add, and provide metadata updates and information to D365 through Nexus, which we'll talk about here momentarily.
Now we go into D365 to check to make sure the parts are created. Here's the main page for D365. We go to Items, and we search for COM. We can see 19, 20, and 21 are created. Now I show you the APIs that we use for the task to create the parts. API 31 is the API that we use to query the parts, and 30 is the API we use to create or update the part. I want to show you Nexus, the engine behind the integration. So we have Nexus and the configurations for the APIs, all the APIs available that we configure to be used in the workflow. For the create part, we have create parts D365. So this is the API URL that I showed you in D365. We have the query, and we have the update. And the workflow, we're using this workflow, part CRUD, which has three processes. One is to query whether the part already exists. That points tied to the API retrieve part data, and update existing parts or create new parts.